It was a typically warm early morning in December. At nearly 3 hours beyond midnight, the thermometer read 75, and it would quickly climb to the low to mid-80s once the sun came out. It should have been just another beautiful day in sunny South Florida, and it would have been. Except for the knock. I was sleeping soundly, cooled by the gentle breeze coming from my overhead fan and from the winds drifting in from my patio windows, facing the lake. That knocking on my door. I jumped out of my bed as if hit by a cattle prod. I looked at the lighted clock on my wall. It was exactly 3 hours beyond midnight and there was somebody banging on my door. I'm on the second floor of a 3-story condo building. There are 12 units on my floor and I've only been living here for a few months. I don't know the neighbors other than to say a quick hello in passing. I have no friends or relatives in this part of the country. Who could be knocking on my door? I'm not exactly a coward, but I am reluctant to answer my door at 3 hours beyond midnight. I'm not going to turn on the light. I will pretend I am still asleep and I'll wait and see if the knocking stops. I better answer it, because it does not seem like they are going to stop knocking. I'll put on my slippers and walk towards the door. The security lights are on in the hall. And my front door is made up of panels of glass, so I'll be able to see who is at the door, but whoever it is, won't be able to see me. There's the knocking again, but there's nobody there. There's a handle on my door that opens the window panels. I'll just turn the crank a bit to open the panels and get a better look. Nobody's there. I'll open the door and see if there's any sign of a person being here. Maybe somebody left me a package. Possibly it was an early morning UPS delivery. I'm out in the hall and there's nobody around.
This is Basil Nightingale speaking for Bill Russo's Short Story Theatre. You're listening to 3 Hours Beyond Midnight, in which a man named John Caribou, who recently retired to South Florida, is awakened every day at 3 hours beyond midnight by a knock on his door. But who is knocking for John Caribou? When he goes to the door to answer it, there is no one there. Once again the hour approaches. The bell in the tower of the church in the center of town will soon ring 3 times, and if the pattern holds, there will be a loud knocking on John Caribou's door. A loud knocking at 3 hours beyond midnight.
There it is again. The infernal 3 o'clock knock. I'll go to the door again. And even if I get there in mid-knock, I know there will be no one at the door. I should sleep through it. But I can't. I've got to know why that person or thing or whatever it is knocking on my door every night. I'll go to the door now. The light from the hallway shines through my glass door, so I can see whatever is in front of my door. I'm at the door now, but as usual there is no one here. I'll go out into the hallway and walk around a bit. Maybe there will be a clue. There's something on the floor on the other side of the hall by the door to the storage area. It's a handbill. It says Hostile Haunts. It is a notice from a ghost hunting team called Hostile Haunts. It says they will come to my house at no charge and track down whatever is haunting me. I am just about at the end of my rope. At 9 o'clock this morning, I'm going to call the ghost hunters.
Mr. Caribou did indeed call Hostile Haunts, and spoke with the founder of the paranormal group. She assured him that the members of her organization would come to his house that very evening, and they would stay with him, even after 3 hours beyond midnight. And at that time they would photograph the unseen knocker, and make voice recordings of the invisible stranger. She explained that her team had cameras that could detect any life force, even an invisible one. Further, she stated that they have EVP equipment that can translate the thoughts of a spirit creature into voice communication. John Caribou had never heard of such devices, and he didn't have much hope for their success, but nonetheless, he welcomed the assistance of the Hostile Haunts group. The ghost hunters arrived at midnight. 2 members of the team stationed themselves in the storage room across the hall from John Caribou's condo. They hooked up their special camera and aimed it at the glass-paneled front door of Caribou's unit. 2 other members were inside with John Caribou, and they showed him their electronic voice phenomena equipment.
Hello, Mr. Caribou. I'm Charlene Hunter from Hostile Haunts. This device that I am holding is called an EVP unit. We believe, and you shall soon hear for yourself, that spirits and ghosts are able to communicate with us through electronic means. This EVP will translate the thoughts of the spirit being into an actual voice recording. So, one way or the other, the mystery of 3 hours beyond midnight will be solved. We will either have proof that it is a spirit trying to communicate with you, or merely some human prankster. If that's the case, the 2 gentlemen across the hall will apprehend the intruder and send him on his way. If the knocker is a spirit, and I think it is, we will soon know why he is knocking on your door, and we will be able to convince him to stop.
Slowly, the illuminated clock on the living room wall, in John Caribou's condo, ticked its way toward 3 hours beyond midnight. At last, the bells in the steeple of the church in the center of town rang out 3 loud gongs.
It's out there. Should I open the door?
No. Don't do anything. Just wait. The 2 guys across the hall are watching. If it is a human, they will speak with him. But obviously there is no one at your front door, and yet the knocking continues. It is certainly a spirit. Let it finish its knocking. It will go away soon, and we'll check our equipment and show you exactly what it is.
A few minutes later, the four ghost hunters were seated with John Caribou at his dining room table. They showed him video footage of his front door. At exactly 3 hours beyond midnight, a pale, glowing orb, about the size and shape of a dinner plate, was hovering in front of his door. The orb changed shape, and began to look like a hand. It grasped the handle of the door knocker, and rapped it loudly against the door. The knocking continued at intervals of about 30 seconds, for close to 2 minutes. Then the orb changed back into the dish shape and slowly faded away to invisibility.
So what you just saw, Mr. Caribou, was the aura of a spirit. It is invisible to the human eye, but our cameras caught it. Many people do not believe in spirit photography, but also many people would not believe that a spirit can knock on a door. But there is no doubt that we all witnessed it tonight. What comes next is the most powerful proof yet. It is the EVP recording of the spirit. Now I have to tell you that understanding an EVP, for newcomers, is very hard, because it is like listening to a foreign language. What I hear, and the other ghost hunters hear and understand, in the recording, will be far different from what you hear. At first it will sound garbled, and seem to be nonsensical. But after you listen many times, you will begin to understand what the spirit is saying. I'm going to play the EVP for you now. Here it is. I realize that what you heard did not make much sense. You may have been able to pick out a word here and there. But an EVP really is like a foreign language. It takes a very long time to learn to understand what is being said. Here's what I got out of it. A spirit wants you to help him. He used to live here. He is a former owner of this condo. He passed away some time ago and has been trying to talk to you. He wants you to search your closet. He says there is something there for you, from him. I understand that you have only recently moved into your condo. There must be something in the closet that you have not seen. The spirit said very clearly that you are to look in the closet.
Well, I don't know what I might have missed. But I will go and look. I'm pretty impressed with what you've shown me so far. You guys are welcome to come with me while I check out the closet. Here we are. You can see that it is a large walk-in closet with clothes hanging on both sides. At the end of the closet is a bureau. I've got some tools in the top drawer, and shirts and socks and such in the others. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for.
Well, I see something. Look closely at the far end of the left-hand side of the closet. About 5 feet up from the floor.
Well, how about that? I never noticed it before. There's some kind of a metal panel in the wall. It's painted white just like the wall, so I never have spotted it. The panel is held in place by 4 screws. I have a set of screwdrivers in the top drawer of that bureau. There's 2 screws out. 2 more to go. I've got the screws out. I'm gonna set the metal panel down on the bureau and point my flashlight in the hole. Well, who would have thought? There's a little wall safe inside. It's not locked. There's a bunch of papers inside. And a note on top. This is amazing. I'll read it out loud. It says, to whoever finds this, you can have whatever is in the safe. I tried to take it with me, but they wouldn't let me. And now that I'm here, I realize that in my new life, the spirit life, I don't need anything from my old life, so you are welcome to my treasures. I have already signed away everything. All you have to do is fill in your name in the blanks, and the stocks and bonds will be yours. There's also about $100,000 in cash. Good luck. Enjoy it and use it, because as I found out, you can't take it with you.
And so, thanks to the ghost hunters, Mr. John Caribou learned the secret of 3 hours beyond midnight and became an instant billionaire, for the stocks that were in the safe were thousands of shares of Amazon, Facebook, Berkshire Hathaway, Walt Disney, IBM, Coca-Cola, and a handful of others. He split the fortune with the ghost hunters and they also became instant billionaires. And so that's the end of the story. But, is it? You may think that this tale is fiction. However, if you live in a house that was built in the 1970s, you better check your closets carefully. Many builders back then, especially in condos and apartment houses, included secret wall safes in their construction. Over the years, the units have changed hands many times. Some owners have passed away, and left behind secret safes, with stock and bonds, as well as cash and jewelry left inside. Who knows what your closet may hold? Go now and check. Look very carefully for a metal panel, painted the same color as the wall, and held in place by 4 screws. And if you find it, and there's a safe in your wall, be sure to share it with us. Just Google Bill Russo's Short Story Theater, find Bill's email address and send us half of the money. This is Basil Nightingale, speaking for Bill Russo, our writer, producer and director, asking you to join us again real soon. Won't you?